whole. Everything in samsara and nirvana that can possibly appear has a single ground, two paths, and two results. The miraculous displays of awareness and unawareness. Through the Aspiration Prayer of Samantabhadra, may all awaken in a fully perfect manner in the palace of the Dharma Dhatu. The ground of all is unconditioned. The self-arising, inexpressible, vast spaciousness without the names samsara or nirvana. The awareness of just this is Buddhahood. Unaware, sentient beings wander in samsara. May all beings of the three realms be aware of the reality of the inexpressible ground. I, Samantabhadra, am aware that this very reality of the ground, without causes and conditions, is self-arising within the ground, unaffected by the flaws of outer and inner, or superimposition and denial, and untainted by the stains of the darkness of mindlessness. Therefore, self-appearances are not blemished by any flaws. Within self-awareness resting in its seat, there is no fear, even if the threefold existence is destroyed, nor is there attachment to the five sense pleasures. In non-conceptual, self-arising mind, neither solid forms nor the five poisons exist. The unceasing dimension of awareness's lucidity is of a single essence and yet displays as five wisdoms. The five original Buddha families spring forth from the maturation of these five wisdoms. Through wisdoms fully unfolding from that, the 42 Buddhas originate. Through the dawning of the dynamic energy of the five wisdoms, the 60 blood drinkers come to life. Therefore, the ground awareness was never diluted. Since I am the original Buddha, through my aspiration prayer, may all sentient beings cycling through the three realms recognize the face of self-arising awareness and fully unfold great wisdom. My emanations form an unceasing stream, unfurling as inconceivable billions and displaying as a vast array of suitable guidance. Through my compassionate aspiration prayer, may all sentient beings cycling through the three realms leave the six kinds of existence behind. At first, since deluded beings do not dawn as awareness in the ground, they are absolutely mindless and oblivious. Exactly that is unawareness, the cause of delusion. From within that vacuous swoon, a fearful, vague cognizance stirs. From that self and others, as well as enmity, arise. Through the gradual blossoming of latent tendencies, samsara unfolds, taking its natural course. Due to that, the five poisons of the afflictions flourish, and their karmas become an incessant flow. Thus, the ground of sentient beings' delusion is mindless unawareness. Hence, through this aspiration prayer of myself, the Buddha, may all recognize awareness itself. Connate unawareness is mindless, oblivious cognizance. Imaginative unawareness is the clinging of the duality of self and others. This twofold, connate and imaginative unawareness, is the ground of delusion of all sentient beings. Through this aspiration prayer of myself, the Buddha, may all samsaric beings' darkness of dull mindlessness be dispelled. May their minds of dualistic clinging be translucent, and may awareness recognize its own face. The mind of dualistic clinging is doubt. From the arising of subtle fixation, dense latent tendencies gradually unfold, be it food, wealth, clothing, places, companions, the five sense pleasures, or beloved relatives. We are tormented by our attachment to what seems attractive. These are mundane delusions. The karmas of perceiver and perceived are never exhausted. When the results of clinging ripen, we are born as hungry ghosts, tortured by craving. How pitiful is our hunger and thirst. Through this aspiration prayer of myself, the Buddha, may sentient beings, being full of attachment and clinging, neither cast out the torment of desire, nor welcome the craving of attachment, but may awareness take its very seat. through letting mind relax in its own state, and may discriminating wisdom be attained. A subtle mind of fear stirs around the appearance of external objects. Thus the unfolding of hatred's latent tendencies lead to powerful enmity, beating and killing. When the results of hatred ripen, oh, how we suffer by being boiled and burned in hell. Through this aspiration prayer of myself, the Buddha, when fierce hatred flares up in all sentient beings of the six realms, may it relax in its own state, without adopting or rejecting. May awareness take its own seat, and may lucid wisdom be attained. Our own mind being haughty, it vies with others and dismisses them. Through the arising of intense pride, we experience the suffering of our fighting and struggling with others. When the results of those actions ripen, we are born as gods experiencing transition and downfall. Through this aspiration prayer of myself, the Buddha, when sentient beings give rise to such haughtiness, may they let their mind relax in its own state. May awareness take its very own seat, and may the wisdom of equality be realized. Triggered by the latent tendencies of rampant dualistic clinging, the competitive mind of fighting and struggling blossoms from the pain of praising ourselves and disparaging others. Being thus reborn in the Asura realm of killing and slashing, we take a deep plunge into the realms of hell. Through this aspiration prayer of myself, the Buddha, when a competitive mind, fighting and struggling arise, may we not entertain enmity, but let it relax in its own place. May mind take its very own seat, and may the wisdom of unimpeded, enlightened activity be. Mindlessness, indifference, distraction, obtuseness, dullness, forgetfulness, unconsciousness, laziness, and bewilderment result in our roaming as animals without any shelter. Through this aspiration prayer of myself, the Buddha, may the radiance of lucid mindfulness shine in the darkness of our bewildered dullness, and may non-conceptual wisdom be attained. All sentient beings of the three realms are equal to myself, the Buddha, the ground of all. But for them it has become the ground of mindless delusion. Right now they engage in meaningless activities, with the 6 kinds of karma being like delusions in a dream. I, however, am the primordial Buddha. In order to guide the 6 kinds of beings through emanations, through this aspiration prayer of Samantabhadra, may all sentient beings without exception become awakened in the Dharmadhatu. Aho! From now on, whenever mighty yogic practitioners make this powerful aspiration prayer, within self-luminous awareness, free of delusion, all sentient beings who hear it will fully awaken within 3 lives. During solar and lunar eclipses, when clamor or earthquakes occur, at the solstices or at the turn of the year. If we let ourselves arise as Samantabhadra and recite this prayer within the hearing of all, through the aspiration of us yogic practitioners, all sentient beings of the 3 realms will gradually become free from suffering and then swiftly attain Buddhahood.